Righty, we should be live any second now because I don't have a convenient opening. So, we'll just make sure this stream is going. And it appears to be going now. So, anyway, good evening, good morning, depending on what time of the day it is for you. Good afternoon. And I do want to greet Pop Culture Mechanic, David Glenn, and Pop Culture Mechanic, in addition to James, who is curious about these staticky comic book. Staticky? Is there a K after the letter C? Anyway, the statusy. No, I honestly don't know this spelling here. Comic book giveaways of some audio, some kind of joke I'm not getting. Well, I have the joke right over here in a box, and perhaps on a subsequent show, or if we run out of steam tonight, I will show the comics. Although I think I'm going to clean my desk first and then show the comic books because it gets a little tricky. You don't want to I don't want to, I don't want to reduce the grading or the quality or whatever you want to call it when you maintain the condition of a comic book. So I want to have a tidy desk, maybe some rubber gloves, cotton gloves. Should I stick with the Genesis background? That's Genesis. Genesis making life from nothing. Oops, wrong one. See, I think it works over here. So over here, I used to have this. I mean, I still have it, but I decided to go with this because I think it just works. But for the main camera, I think we're gonna just go with this. But if you guys want the funny background, let me know. I will turn it back on. So I can't say I have anything specifically planned. I did miss your XDM. I totally did. I'll check it. It sucks that X doesn't let me pin more than 8 people or 5 people. Because I'd like to pin a few more people. You know what I mean? I would have David Glenn. I think he is pinned to the top. I think David Glenn is one of the people I do have pinned, but possibly I wouldn't guarantee that. I mean, I think if anything, I scroll down a little bit, I see the name, but I got people I wish I could keep pinned. You like the funny background? You do? Well, maybe we'll toggle it off and on. We'll just kind of switch it on, switch it off. Now, funny thing was, in OBS, if I put the background into my backgrounds folder, I can move it around. But look what happens here. Look at that. Well, what the heck is that? I mean, I can tell you kind of what's going on, but it's like this annoying quirk to the way that, yeah, I got you. I know you were talking about Twitter X whatever. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Wade. But yeah, so I have to put it in a different layer or folder in OBS in order to prevent that. So now I put it in its own layer. I can move it around and see how the background doesn't move anymore. So yeah, it's a weird thing, but OBS is just a weird animal like that. I've learned that when you overdo it with too many things inside of the same group or folder, things get a little weird after a while, especially if your scaling is a little bit here and there. Yes, so about that, I just needed a cool thumbnail. I had a choice. I had one with Mylene. I'm gonna say Mylene. I had Mylene, and that was a good one from the band. And I ended up with this one because I like ships, and this is because I think we're gonna just do some Space Engine stuff tonight, guys. I think we're gonna just go play around in Space Engine and maybe make a video, make some shorts. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I've remembered what I want to do now. Well, one of the things that I'd like to do tonight. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna go like a video that I had on my other screen. I'm gonna lower that resolution. I'm gonna put the chat window on my right screen for now. Wait, is that correct? Maybe we should put it on left screen. It's a tough call. Let me see here. Gonna close some of the extra browser tabs up. Pacific 414 has concluded his most recent stream. And Logan has a female VTuber avatar for himself. That's kind of funny. Oh yeah, we got some stuff here we could do. Why is this playlist private? I got a cool playlist here. That we can take a look at in a little while. I set up a Ovil's playlist because the Ovil is okay. Now we're going into Japanese stuff here, and I do want to. Speaking of Japan, hello, Master 8 Gundam, Senpai Vlogger, the Ultimate, 7 Ultimate, Z Ultimate. Well, anyway, it's good to see you either way. Thanks for dropping in. That's we got a friend of LCX and friends here. We got Stone Cold Loki. Oh, ho ho. Okay, because I remember you were talking about a little bit of a adjustment to your branding last week, and I'm sure if I tuned into your Friday show, if I wasn't sleeping, I think I know what I'm gonna watch after this stream. I think I know what I'm gonna put on one of my screens or on my television over there or something like that. But yeah, I'm curious because I'm sure, like, now it's a weekly show, so you got to savor it, right? We got to savor the experience. And, generally, I think it's easy for me to be, oh, wait, what's today? Oh, tomorrow's Friday. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. I got like a long weekend, so a good long weekend. So I'm mixing up my days. But yes, Loki's morning show, I believe, well, next morning show, which is more of a weekly thing, if I remember correctly now, should be tomorrow. And I might even have a like a Stream Elements bot thingamabob that does it automatically. Aha! Obviously, I'm gonna have to update the nomenclature on this right over here, as you guys can see. But it works. That works. I gotta say, Loki, that definitely works. Stone Cold Loki. It's your name, and now people don't get confused when you do a show in the evening or you do uploads in the middle of the day. So that works. But yeah. So where do we want to begin? Yep, yeah, I dig that. I gotta get you a full list, or I gotta update my list and then send you a link where you can review the list of stuff. I mean, I think it's like you type in !help, and it gives you a link to a website that shows you the available commands. I don't know if there's like extra stuff I can do in there, like maybe I could make you into some kind of person with a little more privilege in the Stream Elements thingamajig, so you can play with it, or at least see more detail. But I gotta say, like, Stream Elements does a lot of stuff, including does something to my OBS version that makes it look a little different, but it seems to be a match with the current OBS version. But it is like something that threw me for a little bit of a curveball when I first installed it, because it involved features that I don't use. But the feature I installed Stream Elements for, the reason I created an account, was purely to link it with my YouTube chat so that I can issue a command and get it to just churn out names. You know what I mean? Like, so if that's what we do, or that's what I intend on doing, so that I can keep things real simple. Now, there's a guy, what's his name? Vince Womack, friend of Ironcaster, one of his, moderators, and he's got like some kind of hotkeys set up that will post links, and I think it's a local application on his computer. But anyway, let me just I know what we're gonna do here. Where did I put it? See if we can find what I was looking for here. So if anybody is interested in space, maybe we'll do a little space. Maybe we'll go and I'll do a video on how to make a short. Or, let me see. Yeah, I was gonna make a new DaVinci project so we have it ready to go. Short examples. There we go. So we have that on deck. Oh, yeah, I remember now. I was doing a couple of things. Where's my headphones? Do I need my headphones? Not necessarily, but I might need my headphones. Because otherwise, we're going to get feedback if I put my volume up. And I think where we're going to begin is we're going to watch some random stuff I recorded on my DVR recently. I think that's going to be fun. And then we'll take it from there. Because next week, we're going to do a little World War II, Imperial Japan. I'm going to have a special guest on, and someone who I believe has studied history, like, legitimately. So, I think we can have, like, I think we might as well do some positive stuff this week. Alternate between, like, positive stuff about Japan, and next week we can go into the more negative stuff, although even that's going to be pretty positive. But, yeah, it's good to see you, Stone Loki. Thanks for the shout-out. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for the, kind words of encouragement, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. I hope I'm awake at that time. I will endeavor to be awake at that time, even if it means waking up and rolling back over for a nap afterwards. But yeah, check out Stone Loki if you're interested, guys. But in any case, happy to see you. Hey, what's up there, Happy Dinosaur? I'm happy to see Happy Dinosaur 8000. Happy night to you as well, Happy Dinosaur. I hope he one day offers merchandise with that dinosaur. I think it's a cool. I just think it's a cool dinosaur avatar. Like, I mean, that's just cool. I like it. I do. Indeed, Team Tortoise. Let's say hello to Poffy. She's not a tortoise, but she's a species of turtle, and that's something that I don't know if I want to combine it with a booty break, but I feel like we need to have like music. Oh, I remember. I got to reach out to. I know what I got to do. I got to reach out to someone. Someone made an AI generated video of a turtle dancing like this. It looks really bad, but it looks really good at the same time. And like, I'm all for it. I'm all for the insanity of that AI generated video, and I hope I get to use that in conjunction with something like a turtle break. All right, so let's see here. Now we're gonna go to my right screen, and here we are. Let's see. We're just gonna go through my DVR recordings here. I'll show you what I got here. Okay, on my right side screen, we have a guy in the corner. There we go. We'll take my robot out of the corner. I'm going to put a human being in the corner there. Humans first. Ha. And, well, here's the problem. So I record a bunch of stuff on my DVR, and it can eat up quite a bit of space. But we do have some interesting shows here. So let's go with the boring stuff first. NHK Newsline. And I'll show you why it looks boring. I mean, look at that. How exciting is that? Like, you know? Oh, wait, we don't have sound. We don't have sound. I'm going to get you guys some sound right now. And, yes, I am watching the YouTube Studio control panel because that is where it will tell you if you are content ID'd. Because with YouTube, you know, it detects visually or through sound whether or not you are impinging on somebody's copyright, and it puts a kibosh on the stream as a result of that. Okay, good. We should have audio now. Let me know if you guys don't hear audio.
Asia Insight.
I can't hear audio. Like, oh, I gotta plug in my headphones. That'll do it. There we go.
Watch the full episode on demand.
So basically, this is some of the boringest stuff. You know, being the Japanophile I am, I wanted to record a bunch of, you know, just stuff from the NHK network. And so we did. I dig that. You should sleep. I dig it. I should sleep too. I got Pop Culture Mechanic. I think I got Sunday off from work. I got to log into my Outlook email to double check. But yeah, if you want me to jump on, you know, as we discussed, let me know. Well, I'll confirm. I'll let you know if I'm off. But I'm pretty confident I am off on Sunday. Audio is good. I lowered the Japanese a little bit just to kind of ensure. But yeah, man, have a happy night, have a good night, and catch you on the flip side or whenever I see you around in the YouTube chats. So, pretty dry news, but maybe we'll find something fun. So we're going to just open up random episodes. How about that? Cool. Thanks, Pop Culture Mechanic. I appreciate that. Because I love a good talk about Macross of any kind. As long as his name doesn't rhyme with Obotech. So, we're not going to watch the news, I promise you guys. I just want to skim through it and illustrate something for you guys. And that is the size of these files. These are MPEG-2 files, basically. They take up a gigabyte for like an hour worth of video. What does it say here? About 15 minutes, it's a gigabyte. 15 minutes per... A gigabyte per 15 minutes, or however you want to phrase it. And I record a lot of TV shows, and what I've been doing is I've been re-encoding them. So essentially, right now, I take the things that I really want to preserve, and I re-encode them in a manner that ensures optimal quality. And basically, no matter what I do, the file size is always smaller. Although the way that they broadcast the video in a different interlaced format means that the encoding takes a lot longer than I like, but the next step is to automate that so that every time I record something in my media server, I can automatically re-encode it. But what I want to show you guys is, let's see if we can find something cool here. Like, here we are, the Great Hokkaido Watershed. What is this about? See, same news program coming to an end.
And after 6 hours, I arrived at the northernmost cape of Hokkaido Island.
Hokkaido is the northernmost
It's
island
a
of
clear
Japan.
dawn and perfect weather to start a journey.
Now, right off the bat, what I want to illustrate is when you record these videos, you get these ugly horizontal lines. You can see this double ghost image going on at the bottom here. You can see these weird horizontal lines if you zoom in on it, if the quality is on high. But this is literally what makes it take, like, it took literally 12 to 15 hours for me to re-encode to convert the presidential debate from the format that my DVR records it in to a format that makes sense. Because having video with scan lines that are visible doesn't really make sense, but there's reasons they broadcast the content in that manner. But it means that now something that might take about an hour or two to convert takes like 10 times longer. And it's absolutely annoying and insane. So luckily VLC does have some de-interlacing filters, and we can choose different ones. And they work in real time, but the problem is that you can't guarantee that every media player will handle it the same. Ah, thanks. We should do a gaming stream at some point again. Like that space game. I gotta revisit that game, by the way, guys.
Friends call me Orange.
Everyone knows Times New Roman. Oh yeah, you caught that. You caught that, huh? So yeah, so I was kind of effing around and finding out. Let me get this light out of the way. I got a big light hanging from my camera. But yeah, David. But yeah, I mean, Times New Roman is superior because it's got the serif on it, right? You know, you could identify an I versus a letter L. That's kind of a big deal in my opinion. Like, you know, when I write down a letter I don't write a straight line. I write a straight line with two parallel lines on it. I appreciate that, some person. How you doing, buddy? I'm gonna alternate. You know, I'm gonna switch it over in a little while to kind of, you know, accommodate anyone who finds the spinning background disorienting. Scan lines and panty lines are a pass. I think that's what he's saying. Well, panty lines are not a pass. Scan lines are a pass. Panty lines, I don't think they are a pass. I think panty lines are great. Wow, that's a beautiful mountain range in Japan, huh? Look at that.
Strong enough to endure extreme struggle will accomplish this.
You think like you can walk on that ridge on the top without falling?
Alpine route is not located on the mainland or
can you ride a bicycle on that?
In Hokkaido. So I have high hopes for the next generation of young mountaineers from our local communities. Next
Generation. I love Star Trek: The Next Generation. Da, 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 da. Oops, I had the stream of 13 minutes back. I figured that. I figured as much, but I didn't want to say anything because I'm just happy you tuned in. It reads, this will expand the limits of human mental and physical strength and inspire even those unfamiliar with climbing. I believe this will be an exceptional mountain expedition. Ha ha ha. Oh look, he's got skis. He's like the Swiss Alps guy. He's got a plastic shovel to keep it light. But I hope it's not like England. In the UK, in England, you gotta use wooden utensils on a picnic, because heaven forbid you bring a metal knife on a picnic to cut your meat.
Such a dangerous journey, but I couldn't help but try.
He couldn't help but try. Let's see. So apparently somebody is gonna climb the mountain, huh?
I opted not to work for a company, but rather become a freelance mountain guide based in Sapporo.
Sapporo, Japan's finest beer. Pretend you're climbing that mountain, please.
At the core of this tough trek is the happiness I feel in the mountains.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I'm gonna try. Where's the big picture of the mountain? I feel like you need to... Oh crap, I'm not wearing pants. I mean, I am wearing pants. I'm just wearing long john pants, and that's kind of weird. There we go. I'm climbing the mountain. Oh wait, there's text on the screen. Can't do that. Well, if I take the text off the screen and I climb the mountain, people are gonna think I'm weird. And as William Shatner said, why do you climb the mountain? 'Cause it's there. It's true. Captain Kirk said that. Jokes aside, maybe I'll make it into a backdrop. Oh!
In winter, when job offers were sparse,
I don't mean to have these moments of eureka moments here, but I'm having these eureka moments as I start to remember what I had intended to plan for this show.
Alone in the mountains of Shiratoko and Hidaka.
The guy's got 2
thereby
knapsacks.
honing
He
my
must really
mountaineering
value his
skills.
comfort. We're going to skim through this episode real quick, and then I'll let you guys see something else that I might have in line for planning tonight. Oh my god, that looks cold. Oh, that's smart. Look at that doorway. So you don't let all of the cold air out.
I received the necessary items to fix my poles.
What?
I felt reluctant, but ultimately, I decided to accept the minimum amount of assistance to secure my safety.
They had somebody come in to bring
During the
supplies.
repair work,
That's nice of
I
them.
was asked how I would cope if I were in a difficult situation.
You know, it's so dry, yet
帰る
can
場所というか
kind of be engrossing
安心
because
で
I
き
have
る
a
場
safe
所
haven to return to, a place where I feel at
は
ease.
あるからそうじゃない場所で
I can
も
perform
頑張れ
at my best, even in unsafe environment.
そういう気はします
That's how I feel.
待っててくれる人がい
Does
るっていう
having someone
のは
waiting
やっ
for you
ぱ
provide you strength?
その本当に厳しい時にも力にな
Yeah,
る
she's
も
kind
ん
of
ですか
cute. I think it does provide him with
Days.
strength.
The forecast was predicting nice weather.
The forecast was predicting nice weather.
However, I was struck by a severe snowstorm.
That's hilarious.
今も
That is a riot.
うし
The hell happened there? Oh, did animals get in his food? I want. Oh, this is gonna be fun. See, isn't it worth skimming through this? You get to have these little
Just as I was
moments.
standing on the peak,
Did he get knocked over by the wind? I feel like this is one of those situations where you get knocked over by the wind. Oh, the clouds are clearing. Even just for a short while. Oh, that's beautiful. He's really excited. He's like, oh. Oh, now he's skiing downhill. I guess you gotta ski. I guess riding a bike downhill is not really safe with all of those
through this journey,
plants.
I have discovered that the weather
Vegetation.
has a strong impact on my feelings.
Pretend you're climbing that
Even
mountain. Oh,
when
yeah, I
I
said
am
that.
depressed or
So much comedic
frustrated,
possibility with a
seeing
background
the
like that.
sunrise
I'll
makes
keep
it
it in
all
mind.
worthwhile.
This is the one about the Hokkaido watershed. You have to become one with the mountain. Spock. Oh yeah, he did say that with his rocket boots. Yo, that was cool. I'm a doctor, not the mountain. Was it a mountain or a mountaineer?
So, I arrived at Mount Sahoro, which is the finish line for Section 2.
I got little
However.
safety places. However, oh,
ざっと
when I checked the depot supplies and found something really terrible. Wait, I'm sorry. Well, I checked the depot supplies and found something really terrible. Oh,
非常
looks
に
like
まずい事態が
some animals got in, huh? Or was it
チ
kids?
ョコレートなんですけど
Look at this chocolate. It's in a sad state. Actually, it's not that sad.
こんな感じで
Huh. Okay, so half the chocolate's good and half the chocolate is bad.
結構
Why doesn't he ride a polar bear like Santa
な食
Claus?
材が
Because Snorterpoop's
どうやらネズミに
Cuber
かじられて
charges really expensive rates.
袋が穴開いてるし
Bags have holes in them. What is that shit? I want to know what is that? Potato chips? Corn chips?
食い荒らした跡が
Frito-Lay?
散乱しています
Okay, so nobody's telling me what happened. I think I know. Oh, there we go. They
I've
got
secured
rats.
70% of the food, but it won't last to the finish line.
Oh, yuck. Okay, so they gotta plug up the holes in that structure there, huh?
I was at a complete loss.
Oh, he's wearing snowshoes.
But
Whoa, is
Yuko
that
came to
a
my
dude?
rescue.
Oh, it's a chick.
She purchased the necessary amount of food in Sapporo and carried it over.
Wow, that's some wife. Like, oh yeah, I'll meet you at the
Climbing
mountain
route
with
to
all of the
shelter
stuff.
would involve relatively low risk for her.
I feel like he doesn't need all of that food. I feel like he could like ration himself, but I also understand in the
So,
cold you need
I
to
chose
eat
to rely on her.
to warm up. What is that, a plastic house? That's such a weird design to begin with. It's been a while. How are you? Sometimes it can be fun roughing it, but I tell you, it's just a plywood shelf. While you're sleeping. Oh, we're gonna skip through this. Oh, they're playing epic music. This seems important. See, this is just like I was right. See, you could walk on that ridge. Just like Lord of the Rings. Why doesn't he ride? Oh, yeah, he said that. I don't mean to repeat. All he has to do is eat the rats. You know, you're thinking, you are thinking. Oh, damn it, I missed the subtitle. Yo, that looks kind of like a death trap over there. I guess it's all a death trap, but still. Wow, what a dangerous cliff. It looks like a lot of fun, I gotta say. However, you know, it's like not safe. If I fall to the left, I will die. If I fall to the right, I'll probably also die. What is... I gotta say though, the way that the snow lands on his plants looks kind of disgusting, even though it's probably quite fine. If anything, he probably gets a lot of traction by walking on that vegetation. Be easier if he rode a dragon along those ridge lines. I do it all the time in Pal World. Oh, you play what Pal World? But yeah, I do that. Like Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's this dragon that flies around, and sometimes like I'm trying to hit it with my bow and arrow. Usually I use the arrows that explode. How can I describe this as anything other than a campsite of joy? I'm in the best possible mood. Under the circumstances. That's what you get for traveling over the Misty Mountains. It's a fair point. Yeah. Oh, he said yeah. He said yeah. He spoke English. You heard that? He said yeah.
From about 100 kilometers to Cape Edimo, I am frequently blocked by plants emerging from beneath the snow.
But hey, at least it gives you traction.
This here.
What is that? That looks dangerous. Is he wearing a hard hat? Is he wearing a helmet? Was he wearing a helmet? I forgot if he had a helmet on. I've used some VR on three-dimensional mountain climbing. I can't see my mouse point.
April 20th. It's been a bit tough today.
I've used VR on some 3D mountain climbing videos. My body responded like it was going there, like it was there going, holy shit! I gotta play with more VR. I got like a, it's sort of like,
which makes me nervous.
I have Noon VR. Noon VR is really just Google Cardboard. It's Google Cardboard, but made of plastic. You know what? We are in a mountain now. As much as I love my new background, we're going to turn on a different background now. Ah! El Perro de Rover. But we're going to turn on my mountain background. It's like the mountains of Tian Shan. I think are more appropriate, even though we are watching Japan. You know, they got some lineage. Anyway, let's keep rolling here. See? Look. Same thing. Same thing. Huh? All right. Let's let it roll. Uh-oh. Where did I just hit my space bar? I hope I didn't just click on something important.
Snow suggests that the end of this journey is near.
But yeah, so
I wish the snow
it was
would
like
go on just
Google
a bit
Cardboard,
longer.
which is
really
like a
want to
cardboard
finish
box.
this
I'm blocking the
adventure.
chat. I'm going to turn this off. I'm blocking my face. And how do I describe this? It looks like a fancy VR headset, but it's really just a glorified
is
version of
82
Google
kilometers
Cardboard.
to
Now
Cape
that
Edimo.
said, it has some cool
On this
features.
day,
I mean, I have the
the
thing
low
right here
pressure
somewhere.
system was approaching.
You can adjust the optics. You can adjust the spacing of the lenses. You can refocus it a little bit, although you can't really refocus the lenses independently of each other. So sometimes it helps to wear glasses while wearing the headset, as counterintuitive as that might sound. That's sort of like one of the ways that you can guarantee that, you know, everything is even, right? Because if you adjust the diopter
At night, it began
on
to
both
rain
of them
rather than
to the
snow.
same level, one eye may not be, you know, might not be in an optimal mode. And I know people argue that, oh, you can have blurry vision in one eye as long as the other eye is good and the brain figures it out, but I don't know, I
80
kind of don't buy
kilometers to
that.
go now.
With sunrise, the Pacific has come into view. Wow. He's high up, you can see the Pacific. The Pacific is soaked orange, in orange. And orange
It's clear that the
Pacific is
snow-covered
bad.
path will soon disappear.
Alright, there we go. He's back at ground level, I think. Let's watch
After
finish.
traveling 670 kilometers
Cape
from
Evimo.
Cape Soya, I arrived at
Pugwaddle,
Cape
how you doing,
Edimo.
buddy? We're just skimming through some Japanese
A cold
TV, well,
wind has been
American
blowing,
Japanese TV,
making it an
NHK
ideal day
World,
to finish
which
this
is the
journey.
state broadcast of Japan. The same network that Hirohito gave his, his end of war speech on. Which I think Hirohito recorded it on vinyl, and then Emperor Hirohito's speech was played back later on the radio. Welcome back, Mr. Carter. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see what other television we got. So that was the Great Hokkaido Watershed Traverse. So now we got the Secret Nazi Ruins. We got stuff that I can't even watch. I don't think I can even watch Ingram Angle because that's on an encrypted network. Oh, I gotta delete it later. The Professionals Presidential Address to Congress. Oh, good, I did record that. U.S. Olympic Trials. Ooh, I hope they got figure skating. Those girls are hot.
Men's and women's looks. 25%
Ah,
off
damn.
basic
It's like 5 minutes of Olympics here.
By lightning while winning the
Okay, there's nothing there. Let's see, what other television we got? See, I recorded a crap ton, like Wild Hokkaido. Oh my god, there's so many episodes. So, basically, one of the ways that I can re-encode these videos is essentially using FFmpeg. So after MB records the DVR recordings, MB can be told to run a command on a regular schedule that converts the video, and we can get rid of those scan lines by applying a filter that deals with that. Now the problem is that the fancy filter that I do through another application is semi-manual, but like I could probably automate that. But it's very time consuming to do 1080i and convert it to 1080p or even 720p. So then my other idea was, okay, settle for less. So I use the Twitter AI, and you use any AI tool to basically ask, for an FFmpeg command. And did we talk about that last week? I think we did talk about that last week. But essentially, you don't necessarily need fancy software. You can just go ask an AI, chatbot, whatever. Hey, how do I convert a video from this format to this format using FFmpeg? And it'll basically tell you like what to download, or tell you if you already have it, what to type in, basically copy and paste the command. And so at some point we'll do that. But right now we have this abundance of like I said, 15 minutes, 1.1 gigabytes. That is madness. And the quality is not even that good. You can see like the quality is like pretty heavily compressed.
The two are captivated by the magnificent autumn scenery.
Is she British? Konnichiwa, ha ha ha. Okay, I gotta stop doing that. Oh, that's so sweet. They're camping together. Oh, I see the Japanese guy married a English woman, I think. That's cool. He must have money.
They start digging.
It's good. It's not too hot. It's okay.
Sophia
It's not too hot.
cautiously.
It's just in a cup shaped like a square. That seems like
Did you try?
potentially counterintuitive. What do you guys think? If you drink out of a square cup, you can get it all over yourself. But if you drink out of the corner of the cup, I guess it's like having a little spout, right?
Drunk out of a masu before.
It looks like they used joinery. I don't think they glued those together. I hope they didn't glue those together. Okay, so they're drinking out of a hot spring.
This delicious natural spring water from the volcanic surrounds seems to agree with them.
Aw, that's so sweet.
It's simple to make. Fry the rough
Oh, that looks good.
sausages, bacon, and some onion in olive oil until golden brown.
Wow, looks
Then
good.
add herbs and spices like cumin.
Damn.
Wash some carrots
It's a
and
fat
potatoes
carrot.
and add them whole. Mix in the yellow peas that have soaked for a day.
They make yellow
and
peas?
let the soup simmer for about 1 hour.
Who knows about yellow peas? Are they good? I had a friend
Now,
that had
since
a
they
contact in one eye and could tell
spices
that it was
show
affecting
us
vision when
how to
he's
mix them
not
right.
wearing it.
A taste from home. Here are the ingredients. First, mix some hard flour and rye flour.
So, I mean,
together.
wearing one contact, he was good.
This is the secret
Wearing two
ingredient of
contacts,
bread. It's caraway.
wearing one contact is better than no contact, is what I get out of this.
And sourness.
I'm 80% blind in my right eye due to macular degeneration. I sometimes miss the coffee cup when I pour my morning coffee. Oh, I can picture that. Well, see, the problem was you didn't take enough cannabis intake. As you know from the movie Half Baked, old ladies smoke cannabis to, to fight macular degeneration. But jokes aside, I don't know if that's true. I honestly don't know if that's true. Don't take my medical advice. Don't take my comical medical advice. Yeah, oh, dude, that's sick. That's kind of cool. Using Grok 3 to help do your taxes. I use TurboTax. But that's because I'm lazy and I'm usually doing it the day before tax time. So the logic is I'm just trying to get that shit in. Submitted, e-filed. Like, that's it. Everyone makes yellow peat. That's true. That's true. I forgot about that. Mine comes out green. Probably a liver issue. People were wondering why Floral has a punk water emoji last night. Well, why not? But what do you call it? Like, also, Punk Water won a membership, by the way. Like they do the group memberships, the gifted memberships. Yeah. You have a gifted membership, man. Yo, some just finished watching Shelby. Oh yeah, Shelby or Selby? Shelby. That reminds me, Pop Culture Republic has a show tomorrow at 3 p.m. He's a good guy. You guys check him out. He's great. Pop Culture Republic, great channel.
Okay.
Oh, just good discussion. Like, he knows about sci-fi. He knows his stuff. I don't know who Shelby Review is, but I do know Curtis Selby just ended his stream a little while ago. That was a good time.
Thank you, Sophia,
Sweet DJ. Sweet. So now we're gonna do So now we're gonna go and so that's cute though. They're having like a nice stew. That's a good healthy stew right there. They're eating good.
It's been a day filled with many wonderful experiences.
Okay, we're not gonna keep going through Hokkaido stuff, but let's see if we can see anything cool here. Roku, I got a Roku TV.
Statues have the patience to listen and offer comfort.
Oh, that's nice little statues.
meters of snowfall in a year. What's it like to go camping in this silvery world of snow?
Yeah, so I get this
Greg
enormous
and
recording
Buddy live
file,
in Hokkaido.
and there's still compression artifacts all over it.
The
So it's like
couple
I'm
enjoys
using like a high
outdoor
quality
activities
encoding scheme that's
all year
wasting
round,
space,
like canoeing
but
and skiing.
the file still comes out smaller when I'm done with it.
Spring, summer, and fall camping, but no true winter camping. So
All right, I don't want to watch some rich guy, because he must be some rich guy. But jokes aside, let's see what else we got here. Storyland in classical Japanese. Oh, that's cool.
Something that makes you curious. See if you can find other things to line up and compare. You just might discover something worth exploring. Find a new viewpoint and spark your curiosity. Viewpoint Science.
Shelby Drawers. Link available right over here. Thank you. I will bookmark that. Well, I opened it. I didn't bookmark it. I opened it. I'll bookmark it or something. Subscribe later. Sometimes people are in Premiere chats. And maybe I'll even show that channel on screen in a little while. Shelby Robinson. He's a pro comic book artist that does commissions
This is a
and
story
teaches
of
art
long
now.
ago.
He did work
One
on
day,
Spawn. Oh,
a
Spawn.
mother
Spawn's
crab
good stuff.
was
What is
walking
this?
on the beach.
Wait, hold on. I'm talking in the background. First of all, whoa. I missed a lot here. Okay, what just happened? I just go to the live streams to one. He's funny too. Oh, that's good to know. But what was this guy just doing? Was he wearing underwear?
Sudden- This-
We're gonna go back. The monkey and the crab. What did I miss? Does that count as underwear or traditional garb? I honestly don't know because it looks like underwear, but I think it might be traditional garb. Might be beach wear. I mean, he's on an island, right? Looks like a beach. It's got sand on the ground, and well, let's let him talk. I usually start my
This
streams.
is a story of long ago.
I aim to start at 10:45, but lately I've been starting at 11. And today I wasn't super late. I aimed for 11. I was here at like 11:05, and I started at 11:10. But I aim for 11 o'clock typically. No later than 11 o'clock. That's typically like the official start time. Let's phrase it. Let's cage our words. My official start time is no later than 11 p.m. Eastern time. Because every Thursday there's an old movie watch along that I watch that starts at 9 Central. Okay, so based on that, I start at 10 o'clock, sometimes 9:45, if I'm comprehending the time conversion correctly, which means you may or may not. That is correct. That is correct. So sometimes I start at 10:45 Eastern. I like to start at 10:45 Eastern, but lately I've been starting at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So I believe that Central time, this would convert to 10 o'clock, meaning that a movie that exceeds 1 hour in length would still be playing when my show starts. Although, holy crap, it's already 11:52. Did we even do anything cool? All right, so actually,
One day,
I do have something reserved.
a mother
I'm going to get something ready real
was
quick.
walking on the beach. Suddenly,
All right, hopefully,
she saw a
can you see
rice
that?
ball lying
Oh,
right
there's a
in
pilot
front
in
of
the
her.
corner. Let me just turn my camera
My
on.
goodness! What's this delicious looking rice ball doing here? How lucky for me!
What?
Just
Why is he doing South Park voices? What did I just pull up? What did I just pull up? I don't know. Okay, let's keep going. I'm gonna get something ready in the background while you guys watch this. All right?
then, up came a monkey. Mrs. Crab,
crap.
Mrs. Crab,
Da
won't
Vinci.
you?
I forgot. Da Vinci Resolve. I know what happened. That's my fault. Let me just make an adjustment real quick. Display on monitor 3. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry about that, guys.
You give me that rice ball in exchange for my persimmon seed? A persimmon seed? Even if I eat that, it won't make me full. No. If you plant this persimmon seed, it'll grow into a great big persimmon tree. Then you'll always have more persimmons than you could ever eat.
What's a persimmons?
Aha!
How's Rumble doing? Is anybody on Rumble? Nobody's on Rumble. All right, that's all right.
Convinced by the monkey,
You
the
have
crab
Japanese
agreed to exchange the
this is
rice
just
ball for the
straight up-
persimmon seed.
This is straight up NHK World.
Arriving home,
This ain't a commercial,
the
bud.
crab lost no
Do
time
they have commercials?
planting
I don't
the
think they play
persimmon seed
commercials.
in her
They're like
garden.
PBS. Hurry up and spout the Parmesan. If you don't, I'll cut you with my claws.
Afraid of being cut, the persimmon seed quickly sprouted.
So, what's going on here? Hurry and become a tree. Oh, Parmesan. If you don't, I'll cut you with my claws.
Afraid of being cut, the persimmon sprout quickly grew into a large tree.
Hurry up and bear fruit. Oh, Parmesan. If you don't, I'll cut you with my claws.
Afraid of being cut, the persimmon tree quickly bore lots of fruit. Look at all that fruit! More than I could
This is
ever
wild.
eat.
Well, this is a show, a kids show
Oh,
on
no.
it's
I never
not a kids
thought
channel.
of
It's a
this.
kids show. This is
I'm a
the same
crab.
channel we've been watching,
I
guys.
can't climb trees.
And
Just
what-
then, the monkey
Looks,
appeared.
it definitely looks like a kids show on
My dear
NHK.
Mrs.
No
Crab,
doubt about
I'll
it.
pick
No
the
doubt
fruit
about
for
it.
you.
Looking like a kids show. I mean, kids show,
Why,
not so much a
thank
kids
you.
channel, but I guess during
The
the
monkey
viewing of this
scampered
show,
quickly
it counts
up
as
the
a kids
tree.
channel for that period. Those are clearly tomatoes.
Delicious, really good. So good.
He's not even eating them.
Good. The monkey ate the persimmons himself. He didn't give
Hey
even
kids,
one
it's
to the
Monday
crab.
already? How was the Tuck and Roll show? I missed it.
Hey now,
I did miss it.
those
Did I miss it?
persimmons are mine.
I did
Mr.
miss
Monkey.
your Tuesday night show because I was hanging out with Snacks and
Silly
friends,
crab. If you
hoping to
want
see
one so
Punk
much,
Waddle,
eat
but I only
this.
saw Snacks, and that's okay because Snacks was fun to hang out with too.
The
But
monkey
we
took
joked.
a
Hey, what's up,
hard
LCX?
green
Good to see you.
persimmon and threw it at the crab.
I
with
enjoyed your
all his
rendition of the
might.
song today. Oh, good. Okay, I was making sure the chat was coming up on. Oh God, all that crap on the screen.
The crab blew
Oh,
bubbles from her
David
mouth.
Glenn.
Her
This is the
shell
app
was
that
broken,
plays MIDI
and she
through
died.
software. This blue thing here, like I would not install an app
Serves
like
you
this.
right.
I would not
His
install
belly
this.
full of persimmons,
But it
the
plays MIDI.
satisfied monkey went
See? You can hear MIDI. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be. But this is wild. So this is cool. You can turn off the piano. Okay, I'm sorry. I get distracted easily, as you guys can see. Where was I? What were we talking about again? What were we doing? What were we doing? What were we doing?
After a while,
Oh, I remember what I was doing.
baby crabs were
But it is
born.
wonderful to see you,
out of
Snow
the
Dub.
mother
It is also
crab's
wonderful to
body.
see you, LCX. And because I don't want to play favorites, it's wonderful to see the
One,
rest of you guys up
two,
up to and including
five,
Awesome One.
10.
Raggy?
Out they
Raggy,
came,
why are
one
you
after
Japanese
another.
now? Raggy? I
20,
think I'm supposed to say that with an accent.
50.
Raggy? Why are
Still
you
they
Japanese?
came,
Why are you
more,
Japanese
more.
now?
100, 200,
Oh,
500.
Forgot
My
the name.
goodness.
Forgot your
There
name
must
of
have been
show.
1,000
Oh,
of them.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it.
How did our poor mother die?
It's not so much that I missed the Tuck and Roll show today, as it is that
Let's go get
I
him.
missed my own Monday show
yeah.
every Monday,
We
so I
want
just ended up doing it on
revenge.
Thursday.
Let's go!
Sounds like a Tai Ho song. This is that is a I Know Sentry from the Sailor
As the
Moon
baby crabs
OST.
marched
It's
together,
one of the MIDI
they came
files
upon
that
a
came from my
chestnut.
old Iomega zip disk.
Say now, baby crabs.
Let's
where are you
go.
all going?
Rocky Balboa. Oh, speaking of Rocky.
Oh, well then, I'll help you.
Speaking of
As the baby
oh,
crabs
okay,
and
not
the chestnut
Rocky.
marched together,
in the
they
name
came upon a bee.
Oh wait, I can't show it the El Perro
Say
pictures in my
now,
other
baby
scene. I can't show you El
crabs,
Perro right now.
Where
I'm
are you
sorry.
all going?
I was gonna show you El Perro, but I can't show you El Perro.
Oh, well then, I'll help you.
We'd all gotta get along.
As the baby
lol.
crabs and the chestnut and the bee
I
marched
am
together,
not prepared to
they
make a
came
Game Boy
upon a
soundtrack, but I am
large
prepared to send a
wooden
Game Boy to you.
mortar and
I do have
pile
a
of
power
cow
adapter
dung.
now. I literally do. I have it. I have the power adapter. It's located. I can test it.
are you all going?
Imagine Scooby-Doo saying that. Over here, over here. Raggy. Oh, I see. I get it now. Raggy, why are you Japanese now?
help you.
My mom hated Scooby-Doo. Like, it was cool.
Too.
It was cool.
I'll help you.
But then, then my mom was saying like back in the 70s or 80s, it was like she couldn't stand that fucking dog. She said that's her words, not mine. She could not stand that fucking dog. Something about Scooby-Doo's voice, she did not like
The
it
baby
at
crabs
all.
arrived at the monkey's house.
Not in
but
the
he was
least
not
bit.
home. The mortar made a suggestion.
Oh snap! I do that all the
Alright,
time. I
let's
usually do it in the
all
morning
hide
with
and
Loki's
wait
show
for
or
the
Ella's show. I
monkey
do that.
to
You know,
come
it happens to me
back.
during Ella's show a lot because
The
what happens is
chestnut
I'm
hid
at
in the
work,
ashes
right?
of the
11
hearth.
o'clock a.m.
The bee
That's usually
hid
the point in
behind
the
a
day
water tub.
of my work
The
day
cow dung
when
sat in front
one of
the
my
doorway.
coworkers likes to
The
come into
mortar
my
hid on the
space
roof,
and really
all of the baby
dive
crabs
deep
hid
into some
beneath
topic, and I
the
appreciate our
eaves.
conversations. However, sometimes it gets
Before too
really
long,
long.
the
You know what I
monkey
mean?
came
Like it's
home.
like you got to be careful. Like you walk up to their office to get like a 2-second answer, and you're there for fucking 45 minutes.
The monkey turned his
So
red bottom
I try to
the
get my
fire in
work
the hearth
done.
and
I try to get like
hoppity
my personal
slap.
tasks done. I try to spend quality
chestnut,
time with my
glowing
friends.
hot and red from the
You know,
fire,
whether it be
jumped
during
out
Loki's
and
show
grabbed hold.
or Elle's show.
Oh, it's hot,
And
it's hot.
then like what happens is now I'm trying to listen to what Elle is saying, and then my boy comes in, or Loki or Elle, and my boy comes
The
in,
shocked
and I'm just
monkey
like,
hurried to the kitchen and
I
dumped
can't
his
split my
bottom into
attention.
the water
So then I
tub.
have to like
Then
pause the show or
suddenly,
mute the show, and then sometimes I forget to hit live, and then I'm way behind.
the bee flew out from her hiding place
This is
behind
wild.
the tub and
I think we're
stung the
done. I
monkey
think there's a lot of
right
brain
on the
rot here, right,
forehead.
guys? Yeah, I got something lined up for you guys. All caught up now. Yeah, what was that? I did that during the show a couple of days ago, however. Possibly Sunday, possibly Monday. I was behind, and I had to skip ahead, and I skipped ahead to the part where the pig rolls over, you know, the tuck and roll portion of your show, and then you were selling t-shirts.
What's going on? Rubbing his
Yes.
behind, the monkey
You
tried
sure?
to stand
Yeah,
up.
Krabs
Then
is Japan.
suddenly, thundery splat.
This guy's
Water
over the
fell
top
from the
wild,
roof
yo.
with a
Alright, let's see if we
shuddering
get something good here. Oh, bummer. That sucks.
The monkey lay smushed
Okay, I can't show you guys what I wanted to show you.
beneath him.
So I'll show you what I was going to show you
And
guys.
then-
Hang on.
Now's our chance. Let's
Okay. So I got my DaVinci Resolve editing software. But I'm so sorry. Were you guys watching that? I didn't mean to cut that off. I mean, I could put it back on if you want. I didn't mean to, like... I just assumed it was so childish. I just assumed that was so childish that nobody was paying attention. But if you guys were really interested in the outcome of that, I will put it back on. I still have the icon highlighted on my right screen, so I can put it back on if anybody has a strong interest in seeing what happens to that insane show. You know, I don't think anybody cares, but if you do, I will happily put it back on. I mean, slipped on monkey poo. Okay, that makes me almost want to put it back on. That kind of makes me wonder. No, man, I'm just trying to expose you guys to a variety of stuff. But you know what? We have 2 topics left for the show before we conclude tonight's show. So real quick, we're going to briefly touch on the editing software here, DaVinci Resolve. And what I want to do was, a long time ago, I took a video where I inserted Punk Waddle into it. And although I'm not going to show you that video today, I will show you the show. And I got to be really careful with this. In fact, wait, let me put this on my other monitor because I need to make sure I don't accidentally get copyright struck, because, like, this is one of those things that it will get me struck. Okay, so let's be really careful. Oh, man, I got to clean my mouse ball. All right, let's be really careful. I'm going to watch the YouTube Studio dashboard, and I'm going to really quickly run through this, all right? Okay. Legend of the Galactic Heroes. You know, it's got a beautiful musical score. It's got epic space battles of grand proportions. It is like Mobile Suit Gundam without the mechs, except that some people would argue that's like not a reasonable analogy. Although I beg to differ, I think that's a perfectly good analogy. I also understand that it might be more accurate to describe this as Game of Thrones in space. See? Heldensagen von Kosmosinsel. That's German for Legend of the Galactic Heroes, I believe. Oh, Nayo. I know, isn't it nice? Just share it on Snow's channel. Oh, speaking of Snow's channel, ooh, I got something else here. So, you know how he does the booty breaks? I don't mean to be jumping topics all over the place. But for some reason, I maybe might have clicked on one too many shorts of Asian girls in hiked up skirts dancing, right? And you know those Oneida girls? They're like the cheerleaders. So apparently in Japan, they have cheerleaders at baseball games. I might have clicked on one too many of those videos. So now my algorithm gets hammered with these, right? So I was starting to think, like, what if I download those videos and make like a new booty break for Jolly's channel? But I don't know. I think it's like, on one angle, you can't just call it the Pacific persuasion or the Asian persuasion, or I don't know. Like, you're borderlining with racism. You know what I mean? But on the other hand, I think everyone would appreciate hiked up skirts. Like, you can't call it the Fook you, Fook me break. So even though, like, you got, you know, Rudolph Dickies, you know, with it in Showback with the Fook you, Fook me thing, you can't start having random people who are not named Fook you and Fook me on screen. And you can't call them Fook you and Fook me while they're on screen if their name is not Fook you, Fook me. So, yeah, I'm kind of torn on if it's even a thing I should even be floating. But if I ever do come up with something, I will show it to the concerned parties and see what they think. Yes. Anyway, I think it's more military political strategy. Yeah, well, I think so. Yeah, some people say, like, it's like Game of Thrones in space. But yeah, I mean, it is. It is definitely military and political strategy. And I think that maybe, I've never watched Game of Thrones, but I have a vague impression that it is, to some extent, about that stuff, right? I mean, Game of Thrones, you have the court intrigue. I don't know. I mean, there's some I don't know what you call it, medieval geopolitics. I mean, you know, it's a different time, a different situation, so to speak. But basically, you got people who are in charge of people. You got warriors. You got these dragons, apparently, or dead dragons. Okay, see, I already lost it. Like, I literally don't know a lot about Game of Thrones. We have a couple of fans. I know there's one fan that sometimes visits and lurks in the chat that is a huge fan of the GOT universe. What if it's a kilt festival? Is this in English? No. But anyway, what I'm looking for is a very specific bat. Here we go, found it. Oh, we need the subtitles. So basically, this is the clip I originally used. I made a funny clip of Punk Waddle in the pilot's seat. Well, I added Punk Waddle to it. And then I added the Starship Enterprise. I gotta find that version of the clip. But what's so lovely about this is just the way they fleshed out the ship. No, this is in Japanese with English subtitles, which for some reason... Oh, you know what? You know why the English subtitles don't work? I had to download my own subtitles. I remember now. Luckily... Okay, so... There's multiple layers to this. I think we have like we got a stereo and two 5.1 surround sound audio tracks in Japanese. As far as subtitles go, it says there's a Japanese subtitle, but I don't see it. Maybe I have to install the font, the character set. But what I was going to show you guys was like an editing workflow using this very scene that we're about to watch together. But before we do that, I want to show you something funny. Sometimes you'll import video into DaVinci Resolve and it'll give you an error message. If you're using the free version of DaVinci, it's often because the free version of DaVinci Resolve does not support 10-bit color. So if you download Japanese anime that is encoded in 10-bit color and you have the unpaid or the free version of DaVinci, it won't import. It'll give you an error. And so the solution is, convert it with another app and then you can import it into into DaVinci. But another common issue I've encountered in the past is when I take a video and I go to open it in DaVinci and it works, and I have the paid version, so I can open up 10-bit color videos. But this happens. Media offline. And this is kind of interesting. So if I play it forward, the audio works, but media offline comes up in the picture. But here's the way things get wild. Observe the timeline. It's got thumbnails in it, right? So it should have video. Well, watch what happens when I rewind. See that? Look, so if you play it forward, no bueno, but if you play it backwards, it kind of works. Okay, I'm not going to pretend to know what's going on in this case because this is a Blu-ray rip. And as far as I'm aware, if it came from a Blu-ray, it should just, work anyway, right? Because I've already used Make MKV to convert it, at least copy it to an MKV file. But I believe that in the past when I've encountered this issue, I don't believe it, I recall when I encounter this issue, usually it's from a download, it's from a video clip, a downloaded movie or something like that. And it comes down to this. The video was encoded with a variable frame rate. So instead of having a set frame rate like, 24 or 30 or 23.97 or 29 point something frames per second, it'll be encoded with a variable frame rate, which might help to conserve memory. Because if you have a scene in the cartoon where nothing is changing on screen, it might make sense to, not have a high frame rate, to lower it and then only increase the frame rate when it's necessary. The problem is that, in my experience, at least with the files I've imported into DaVinci, it doesn't play nice. Literally, this exact thing happens. Now, not a big deal right now, because we're not going to do anything about it. We're just going to watch a cool scene together. And then after that, was there anything else we want to do before we wrap up? If it comes back to my memory, I'll happily share what I have. But I think this is it. I think it's like the next to last topic we have, basically, unless we, find something really cool. I'm sorry I'm late. No, I'm kidding. It's good to see you, Slim. No worries, man. No apology necessary. So it's all in German. No, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Thank you. Okay, so as it turns out, I've already downloaded this series, but I wanted to buy it, right? I wanted to buy it on Blu-ray. So I did. And right now, I still got to buy the remaining seasons of it at $200 each. But just to give you an example here, if I go to my anime folder, I go to Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and I open up a new copy of VLC Media Player right over here. So I'm going to just pop into a new VLC, and I'm going to drag and drop one of the icons for the episode. And I don't know what episode number this is, unfortunately, so we can't use the same episode. But this file, we have the music. I'll lower the volume a little bit. Look at that. nice bright yellow subtitles. Now here's the wild thing. When you open the subtitles in an app called Subtitle Edit, which is on my top monitor here, it says Subtitle Edit. When I open up this app and I import the episode, it detects the subtitles. This is so cool. So I take this, I drag and drop it like that. And I'm not going to update this right now. There's a couple ways to do this. I like to drag and drop it like this. Now, by the way, side note, these episodes are encoded in 10-bit color. And a little cool hack. If you have Japanese anime encoded in, that's normally 8-bit color, and you re-encode it in 10-bit color, the file size becomes smaller. So even though some editing software may not let you open 10-bit color files, encoding for 10-bit color just for, viewing the anime, for watching it, is a simple way to get the file size down. Now, that said, I believe it also means that the encoding takes a little bit longer. But anyway, that being besides the point, let's keep going. So, bottom line is that we got the cartoon over here. We can hit play. And I want you to observe the left side up here where the subtitles are. So, there we go. Now, these are ASS subtitles. Yes, ASS, Advanced Substation Alpha. That's the file extension. Literally says the subtitle file is .ass. Also known as .ssa, Substation Alpha. So it's like Substation Alpha is the subtitle format. It's used by fan subbers, right? It's not used by any corporate entity. It's used by fan subbers groups. But one of the cool things about SSA or ASS subtitles is that you can literally, that's funny. Game of Thrones is bad, has bad sword fights. Son of a bitch stories and incest. Oh, sob stories. I'm sorry. I thought you were abbreviating son of a bitch. Sob stories and incest. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. That's not my cup of tea. Although maybe it's more fun than I give it credit for, So anyway, back on topic. Well, I mean, that is part of the topic, right? And LCX says, "Hey, Slim." Hello, Slim. Okay. Anyway, but look at these fonts. See that? So with this type of subtitle format, the fan subgroup is able to have custom fonts. So not just the font size, not just the positioning of the fonts, but fancy fonts that to some extent can be embedded into the file, which I find it quite exciting. And there's really like a video I can't find, but I saw a video on YouTube a while ago showing what you could do with this type of subtitle format. And it was showing an example in some anime series, in a cartoon or a movie. A character is writing Japanese or kanji or hiragana. They're writing in Japanese in a book, right? In a cartoon. And at the same time that they're writing in Japanese, the subtitle text is also being scribbled on in like a similar manner. So it's not just giving you like a subtitle overlay of static text, but it was actually emulating the writing. And I can't find that example. I tried. I haven't tried that hard, but like I don't know if I had it bookmarked somewhere else or what. But that was a feature of these subtitles, of this subtitle format, that I just thought was super cool. Son of a bitch story is correct, is the correct word. Okay, good, I got it right. All right, so anyway, reason I'm bringing this all to your attention is, remember, I bought it on Blu-ray because I wanted a higher quality copy. But the high quality copy does not have subtitles in English on it. So I checked the Open Subtitles website. It didn't have subtitles. But I found out that these subtitles here that come with my own, that bootleg copy that I already downloaded, these subtitles work. Like, they are synchronized correctly. I don't have to resynchronize them. They're all on time. So all I got to do is open up the video file, which contains subtitles, and essentially tell this app to export the subtitles. And I believe there's a better way to do this. I can automate this. I can write a script that will automate this. But nonetheless, this was at least a good starting point to test out the theory. And sure enough, it works. So I do have a number of episodes in the Blu-ray format that have been re-encoded properly that contain good subtitles. And in particular, what jumped out at me was that if you go through this highlight here, you'll see that, as you play the video back, it'll highlight different things to indicate what code it's loading. So over here, it says A6 position 280.5 by 289.5, and it's got all this other crap. And as I figure, these must affect the font, the formatting, and all of that stuff. But in addition to that, somewhere in here, it's got a little more information here. And let me see if we can find it. There was like a ton of information here. In fact, there's the font. See, like, it's almost like it's repeating the font again. And see, like, as you double click, it gives you like the translation. I mean, it gives you the point in time that subtitle belongs. You can see there's some time indexes here, a duration, how long the subtitle lasts. But what I'm looking for is there's some hidden notes in here that I'm looking for. Well, I thought there was some hidden notes. They're not really hidden notes per se. Translation by Sue Tramberg. Timing edits. Oh, here we are. These are the credits. Timing edits by Central Anime Kansas. This is what I was looking at. So basically, this is the fan subgroup that uploaded this to IRC at some point in time. And they did meticulous work on these subtitles. What they did was they had Legend of the Galactic Heroes on, as I understand it from what I read, they had it on Laserdisc. And I believe whoever digitized it might have done it the fancy way, because there's a couple of ways you can digitize Laserdisc, right? You can hook it up to a video capture card, you can convert it to HDMI, but there's a device called a Doomsday Duplicator. I'm not going to get into it right now, but it's essentially a component that was sort of made by some nerds or designed by some nerds that you could build yourself. You install it in a desktop computer, theoretically, right? And it's designed to interface directly with a Laserdisc player. Like, instead of you hooking up to the video outputs, you're receiving, like, a relatively raw signal directly from whatever part of the Laserdisc player is reading the video signal and the audio signals. And it's a way of getting a superior copy of a Laserdisc. Of course, a Laserdisc is going to provide a superior picture to a, to a VHS tape. And if you can, directly tap the video signal from the device instead of trying to hook it up to a S-video connection or a composite video connection, if, predates a more modern video standard. And they got a really good copy. Even though it's not a Blu-ray copy, it's as good of a copy as you can get. But the most important thing is that, yes, I can get the subtitles out of this, and I can put them into my copy. And I still have to finish encoding the entire set of episodes that I already bought, and I still have to buy more Blu-ray discs so I can finish doing it, because I really do want to have this entire series on Blu-ray. But I'm pleased to say that the bootleg copy that I have, which already has subtitles added to it by some really smart nerds, can be used in order to add subtitles to, the Blu-ray version. Of course, you have to copy the Blu-ray to your computer and add subtitles to it. However, there is an alternative. When I bought the, Macross Do You Remember Love movie, I found out that you could put the Blu-ray disc in your computer, play the Blu-ray in VLC media player, and you could like right-click on here and say add subtitle track. And it'll add a subtitle track in English. The problem with this is that if you notice the timeline at the bottom of this video here, each episode is about 24 minutes in length. If you observe, this is 2 hours and 24 minutes. What's going on here? Basically, this entire scrub bar contains 6 episodes in a single file. So when I copied this Blu-ray to my computer, it did the entire disc containing 6 episodes in a single file. So I have to split it up, or I have to use a video encoding app that can split up the chapters, which luckily there are chapters in here all throughout. And luckily the chapters are the same thing. It's like beginning of episode, end of the opening, intermission, middle, ending credits, and, next episode trailer. So they got like, it's all consistent. So luckily if you're using a video converter, you can say, start with chapter 1, end with chapter 5. Then you do chapter 6 through 10, chapters 11 to, etc. But I look forward to finishing that. But unfortunately, what I wanted to do was I wanted to share with you guys my editing workflow. And here's why. In fact, I'll show you why. Okay, so you guys know my VTuber character, right? See this guy over here? This is the point of this blah, blah, blah. And before I say blah, 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 I do want to say hello to Lorenzo Sleestack. How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Is if they have a feature similar to subtitles that replace human characters with lizard men. Well, with this airplane flying overhead, I would like to send some lizard men up, but that's a valid question. I think that you could probably do that using the SSA subtitles. If I understood how they worked more precisely, I feel like that would be your best candidate. Otherwise, you can use the magic mask in DaVinci Resolve to probably like cut out the humans and then maybe superimpose some lizard men over them. Or if you have a video of lizard men already, you could use the magic mask in DaVinci Resolve to isolate the lizard men from their backdrop. And then you can like put them on. Don't even get me started. No, I'm joking. That's a cool model. Everyone, L has a cool model, but I'm not going to say I'm envious. Because I was already envious of all of your character models to begin with. But in particular, this 3D thing is like next level. And I'm like, I'm so curious. I'm not saying you don't have to spill your trade secrets here. You can always tell me later. I can always bug you through DM, but like, I don't know, maybe you already told people on your stream how you do it. But in case you haven't told anybody, I'm definitely not trying to coerce you or, urge you to like, spill your trade secrets, so to speak, right? But I do wonder, I was wondering how you did that, because I'm like, okay, well, did you, someone in the chat was like, oh yeah, you must have used Blender. And it's like, hell no. But I mean, I think I have a hunch how you did it, an educated guess, but I honestly have no idea how you did it, because like I know how you normally like do your semi 3D or your layered model and how you can supply the layers to that particular app. Was it VTuber Studio? I always mix up the app, but you did something else, and it's a completely 3D model. And I'm not sure if like you took a picture, supplied it to some kind of AI tool, and the AI, Void, that's the one. Yeah, Void. I want steroids. No, I'm kidding. Steroids. All right, Void. Okay, so I'm trying to remember like if that's the same app that I was looking at a while ago. Is that the one with the triangles in it? That's what I remember the most. I remember there was an app with triangles in it. Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting. Oh, wow. Huh. Maybe it is time to go 3DL. I don't know. I just did a picture search real quick. And if we go back to the previous tab, yeah, I mean, I'll try it out. I'll try anything. I'll try any application out. Well, thank you for that name drop. I appreciate that. But yeah, I agree. Like, so aside from going with 3D, however, it's true. It's time to go with 3D, right? This character here in the background, let me show you where he came from. I'm going to show you exactly where he came from right now. So yeah, for anybody who doesn't know where this VTuber character comes from, I'm going to show you where he comes from right now. So hang on. It's from this scene right over here. So we're going to just go ahead. We're going to roll the tape because this is a cool scene. I mean, look, I love a good space opera. So let's roll. Wait. Why is it not in full screen mode? Why is it not in full screen mode, huh? Okay, that's better. So I'm sorry. I just love these details. Okay, so he gets inside the Spartan or Spartanian, I think they call it, which is like, it doesn't roll off the tongue the same as Spartan. And you can see that it's a fully covered and enclosed fighter craft, right? It's a space fighter or a starfighter. And you see the guy right behind me, this guy here, doing the whole thing. Now watch this. Okay, big metal cover goes over it. That metal cover is there to, like, of course, prevent the air from leaking into space, right? They're inside the shuttle bay or whatever, the hangar bay, the hangar deck. And that isolates the fighter, which is about to be ejected into space. Oh, actually, okay, so what I want to show you is this. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I highlight something here. Right there. See that? Okay, look, he's inside this metal cockpit, but then it's going to turn on a holographic display. So there's the holographic display showing the guy in front, even though it's clearly a solid armored cockpit canopy. Then the metal door comes down, and that's why, it gets covered up again. And then DJ Play Nice comes in. Hey, what's up, DJ Play Nice? Good to see you, buddy. Oh, thanks for dropping in. Brain Shatterer. Hey, buddy, from the fish. Ah, cool. Good to see you, buddy. It's from DJ's grandpa. My grandpa was on an LST ship in World War II, I believe. Okay, so now it is cool. Now, I have a model of this ship that I painted. I better find it soon because I don't know where it is right now, but I think it's over here. But I need to find it because I need to finish attaching some parts to it before I can call it complete. But he's going to slide out. So, okay, he just got lowered down through like a launch elevator. Then he got spat out sideways and backwards from these little port holes or these little hangar holes. So apparently the fighter planes are ejected through these little openings, these dark slits over here. So he came out of one of these. He kind of, like I said, he went down and then backwards at like about a 40-degree angle. As you can see, he's facing about 40 degrees. Then he's going to accelerate in the forward direction. And that's the top of the ship. So when I built the model of this ship, there's actually a series of antennae or masts or poles sticking out the top. Now, these white things are just weapons. But if you look over here, there's a little pokey thing right over here. And there's a little pokey thing next to this little laser or whatever you want to call it right here. And that was probably the most challenging thing to do. Huh. Yeah, I don't know where my ship is, but I think I put it somewhere safe because I definitely don't want to break my ship. I want to say I definitely put the ship in a safe place where I could not damage it. So it may not be in a place where I can easily find it right now, but I'm pretty confident, I'm reasonably confident that the ship itself is secure. So as soon as I find it, by that point in time, my desk will be nice and tidy again because I want to clean it up before the weekend is over. And I will show you guys the ship, and maybe we'll even sit down together at some point, and I'll show you me putting the finishing touches on it. But for now, well, next we're going to do something different. But the week after we could do that. But anyway, let me finish. So this is where, like I said, I name dropped Punk Waddle for a reason. So here we are. Oh! Wait, that's cool. Oh, that was a good, I'm sorry. I love my Starship prawn. Yeah, see, those are the antennas. So I had to buy some brass rods, heat them up, and shove them into the PLA, into the plastic, basically, on the 3D model. I did the ship on my 3D printer, and then I painted it, and I got the color right. I mixed blue paint, green paint, and white paint together to get the shade of like, it's like a light blue or greenish blue color. So, what does this have to do with Punk Waddle? Oh, okay, actually, I'm sorry. What does this have to do with this? And what does this have to do with Punk Waddle? Because there's an intersection here. This is like intersectional waddleism. So, let me show you. Okay, so clearly, this guy is related to this. So this is what it has to do with my avatar. Is that I took a screenshot of this guy flying this thing, right? Let's keep rolling. So at one point, I took a picture of Punk Waddle. I isolated it. I think we gotta find it. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna go open up Discord, see if I can find a saved picture because I think we have to show this. We have to show this, right? But anyway, in the meantime, yeah, I superimposed Punk Waddle over this. So this is clearly not my VTuber avatar, but there is a video floating around, or at least on my computer somewhere, where there's a penguin just sitting here, and even though the angle is wrong, he's facing the wrong direction, I still think it's funny. But let me see if I can find the thing I want to show you guys real quick. Where did I put? Where's Discord? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm going to find the video. I'm going to find it, and we're going to watch it together. Oh, that's so cool. All right. We're going to find it. We're going to find it. Let's see. StreamYard link. That was cool. Oh, man. So, guys, remember when I used to use the Gundam Seed song for the ending of this show, and then I had to stop because it was basically every stream was getting claimed. Yeah, so this is the picture from the end of the outro that I used to use. It's just kind of funny to see Whooper Trooper and Punk on top of Kagari. That's Kagari. That's Kagari right there. And that's Kira Yamato. But anyway, that's not what I came to show you guys. I thought that was funny to show you. Okay, let me just find the video I'm looking for. Oh, wow. This is a prototype. This is what PD looked like before. This is a dark-faced PD right over here, guys. As you can see, we have like stuff on the face that like this was almost more of a reference. Like if we take PD's face off, I think this is what you see behind the actual face, because his face is removable. I designed him to have a removable face in case I ever wanted to give him a new facelift or something like that. But let's keep going here. I'm gonna find it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This is just random now. Snow in the north, right? It's like New York. And this is what happens when they get snow in Georgia. Like, same 2 inches of snow. In fact, you'll get like half a foot of snow in New York. People will be driving. And you'll get like 1 inch of snow in Georgia. And it'll literally look like this. Almost literally look like that. Let's keep going. I'm just scrolling through a message log right now trying to find a very specific picture. Or video clip. It's got to be here. It's got to be here. Is this it? Is this it? No, that's not it. Is that it? No, that's not it. Oh, is that it? No, it's not it. Is that it? No, that's not it. Is that it? Oh, crap. I got to respond to him about that. Okay, that's an old topic. But anyway. It's got to be here somewhere. I'm looking for this video. I'm sorry that I'm not showing you what I'm looking at on my screen. Oh, I found it. 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 Oh, yeah. We got it. We got it. We got it. Oof, oof. All right. I'm sorry. I'm so excited because I'm so excited that I just can't hide it. Just like Jesse from Saved by the Bell. If anybody gets the reference, you know if you know. All right. It's going to be a real treat. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are you going to scream? Are you ready? Brain shatterer. Yahee! Yep, that's exactly what he says. Is DJ Punkwater? Nah. I mean, he could be a DJ if he wants. He's a musician. She's significantly less massive than a battleship. Who, what? Finally off to work. I commend you for your hard work in serving the customers in customer service. Watching you hunt for something specific is pretty entertaining in itself. Huh. What are you trying to say, that I'm not organized? Nah, it's all good. I'm just busting your chops. Ah, I got you. Dude! Alright, so check this out. Ready? Let's go. Alright. Just pay attention. Pay attention. I can't. I'm sorry. Maybe I amuse myself too much, but hold on. I want to do. You know how VLC lets you do a loop? We're gonna loop that. I'm gonna loop that right now. Ah, crap. I hate when that happens. When you're trying to loop a video in VLC and it, like, does that. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Oh, look, my timing got messed up. I mean, I know it's so cheesy and it's not aligned correctly at all, but it still amuses me to no end to see the beak. Like, the bill synchronizes with the Japanese words perfectly. That's why I love it. That's why I love seeing the duck bill, the penguin bill, the penguin beak going. You know, I can't even say the words, but well, I could if I could read them, but I can't see any text on the screen, so I couldn't tell you how. Anyway, but you got my drift, and I'm very proud of how cool that looks. But now let's briefly move on and continue this space opera review. While yes, I can see your logo. Your logo is right there. It says WN Wade Nation. It's totally there. Yeah. So if you don't see the logo, I definitely can. Wahoo! Yeah, right. I mean, he says it best. I'm a Wario. You want Wario? You want Wario? Did you say Wario, James? Did you say Wario? Did you say Wario? Don't even get me started. No, you know what? You're gonna love this. Did you say Wario? Did you say Wario? How crazy is it that I have this on my desk? It's a pretty good game, by the way. It's actually pretty good. And here's the pictures of the gameplay, right? Remember, it's a Virtual Boy, so everything looks like this. We always have to do a stream where I fix my Virtual Boy. I have the parts. I just need to open it up. I need to have the tools in front of me. Basically, I need to have a combination of soldering lead, flux, and you know, my soldering iron, my good soldering iron. If I have all of those things in one place, we can fix my Virtual Boy. And then I can continue having fun playing games on Virtual Boy. God, what do you mean? It was a great system. It was a great system. It's just that those flex cables could have been maybe installed a little better. But the theory behind it was kind of cool. Like, if you play Mario Tennis on a Virtual Boy, you do get that depth perception thing. Like, when that ball comes towards you, or when you fly with the ball into the net, like, I think you get some, you know what I mean? Like, but I get it, like, bad for the eyes, you know, and all of that stuff. I mean, yeah, I know. I got a flux pen. Basically, the risk I think is pretty low in this case, but I did learn my lesson from the Nintendo 64 HDMI installation, James. You know, I don't know if you might remember that one. And basically, the crux of it was, instead of using a single like line of flux on the edge of the chip that I was attaching the flex cable to, I put globs of it on because I thought that I was Louis Rossman. You know, because in Louis Rossman videos, he just puts that shit on, he lays it on, like, you know, at least that's what I thought I was seeing. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. And it turns out the problem with that was some of the flux liquefied and went underneath the video or CPU chip. In this case, the RCP, the video chip. And when that happened, it wasn't a big deal because flux doesn't conduct electricity, they say. But as it turns out, when you turn on the N64, you get video and audio for like a minute. The first time, at least, this is what happened. I would get video and audio for 1 minute, then the image would flick out. And I remember one time I turned on N64 underneath this camera, and I started seeing smoke coming out. But it wasn't anything getting fried. It was the flux getting shorted out, heated up. Like, the circuit was shorting out on the flux and heating up the flux and making it turn into smoke. And it turns out what was happening was, if you turn it off for a little while, it would work for like a few seconds to a minute. And the whole crux of it was, some of the flux got underneath the chip, the video chip, which is like basically like flush with the circuit board. But if there's like even a tiny little gap there, the flux is squeezed in there, but it's gelatinous. It turns into goop and the goop wasn't a problem. Like, the goop itself would have been fine. The problem was that the goop got underneath the video chip. And when I turn on that N64, the video chip is passively cooled. It's got a big heat sink on top of it when it's installed, you know, inside the hardware correctly. But in fact, during testing, I don't remember. No, when I was testing it, I think I took had naked motherboard. But point is that as the bottom of the video chip heats up, the flux gets reliquefied and it flows outward. And although flux does not conduct electricity, it's like water. Water doesn't conduct electricity. It's the impurities that conduct electricity. But everybody knows that it's a moot point. And hello, the Peter Venkman fan site. It's good to see you. Had to get up early, so I had 2 1/4 hours of sleep yesterday. Wow. Well, I hope you're a little bit more well rested now, or I hope you get good rest tonight. So yeah, so bottom line is what it came down to was I had to buy flux cleaner because at this point the deed was done. There was already a ton of flux underneath the board, and unless I'm putting that whole motherboard in an oven, there's no way I'm burning off the flux. And that's another thing. You could buy no clean flux, but no clean flux is a misnomer. No clean flux typically means that they assume that you're going to be mass producing or putting that circuit board into an oven, like a semiconductor oven or an oven that they use in the factories. And the reason is that in that oven, the temperature is high enough that some of that flux gets heated up and it evaporates. But if you don't heat up the flux to that temperature because you're not putting it in an oven and you have a bunch of excess flux in a place where you can't reach the soldering iron, then instead it reliquefies, it has impurities, and it does conduct electricity. So bottom line is I use this heavy chemical called flux cleaner, very bad stuff, but very good at what it does. Very good at what it does. And now my N64 works, and we streamed it a couple of months ago. We can stream N64 games again soon. I think that would be a fun activity again. I think there's some games that we need to revisit or visit for the first time. I think the visual on a Virtual Boy, yeah, the visuals are pretty good. I agree. Even though the monochrome red will make your eyes bleed, yeah, and that's why they started having, like, very early on, they had the automatic pause feature in there. Does Rossman all over the photon emitters? Don't Rossman all over the photon emitters. So basically the Virtual Boy is a strip of vertical LEDs that like blink like this. And then next to the vertical LEDs is a reflective thing. And the reflector, it vibrates like this. So as the LEDs are blinking next to it, the idea is that the light that projects onto the reflector is due to the sweeping motion of the thing that moves like this. Essentially, the LEDs are stationary, but the little flexible bit that vibrates rapidly with the refresh rate of the output, it's able to scan, basically. So essentially, the LEDs blink vertically, but at any given millisecond, it's doing this. A bit, it's actually emulating how a old TV would work to some extent. But the problem is that when the connections go bad, they sort of like corrode or rot. I think they practically rot or something happens. And so there's actually a ribbon cable that is in there that's soldered directly to the board. So there's no safe way to fix it. You could ruin the ribbon cable in the process and be screwed. So somebody made a kit called an eye patch. And I can show you exactly what it looks like because I already bought one. And it's a DIY installation. So if we look over here, you see here, this is it. Look, see, it's got a cute little graphic on there. But you can clearly see that this is a straight up, it's a flex cable. I mean, you can see it right there. Look, see those contacts? So I think the way this works is one side goes into like a connector that you can lock shut, like a locking connector. And I think the other side, you might have to solder onto something, if I remember correctly. But it's designed to be, a relatively doable, especially with my experience now. For some people, this might be a hard thing to do for the first time. And he's got some information here. I'm just seeing if there's anything. High quality one-to-one replacement for faulty or destroyed eyepiece ribbon cables. Replace the original ribbon cable on your Virtual Boy's eyepiece with some Virtual Boy eye patches. So yeah, I got a pair of these. I ordered a pair of these, and there you go. Look, see, double-sided, or at least you can see the thing here and here. So that's the gist of it. This is what I'm going to use to repair my Virtual Boy. I already bought one. Rossman knows what's up when it comes to our lack of digital privacy. Yeah, sometimes I think people are overly anal about it, but he's right about certain details. I mean, he's pretty much right about everything, but like there's this other guy I watch, and he's like bitching about open source software and how like, oh, DaVinci Resolve is using proprietary blah blah blah. And it's like, hey, look, man, that's okay. Like, DaVinci Resolve is the best editing software, but he's got a point in that if you're running DaVinci Resolve on Linux on an AMD system, they have a lot of features that lean into NVIDIA, and it's like, well, now, what are you getting out of it then? Or what is it lacking? And then the other thing was, even if you have NVIDIA on your Linux system, which, I mean, I don't know, like, don't use DaVinci Resolve if you don't like that it doesn't work with, without NVIDIA. I don't know what to say. But anyway, I think that guy was a bit of a purist, is my point. But Rossman generally, like, he's right. He did business in New York. He knows the deal. Now I wonder if Goop hand cleaner has any off-label uses. Oh, I might have been mixing up two products. Was behind a truck with a carburetor. Lovely carbon smell. Suppose it's better than being behind an EV going kaboom. Yeah, right. Those lithium batteries do not put themselves out. The video game science guy. Yeah, except I'm not an asshole like Bill Nye, right? That guy's a dick. Remember to find pin 1. Start from there. Yes, that is correct. And that's the thing. I did not see pin 1 on there. I did not see the edge of that ribbon cable was not red. All right, let's finish this cartoon. Well, not the whole cartoon. Let's finish the segment. I did not hear about the tokamak running for 22 minutes, but that thing is way too big and too fucking unwieldy to yield anything useful. And it was successful that it's not a smoking crater, at least. I mean, I'm happy that it could run it for 22 minutes, but it's like, I don't see, like, we got to lean into fission. And look, if we want to, like, make fusion work, I'm happy to see that work, but we need to lean into fission in the meantime. And unfortunately, like, all those climate change activists, they don't actually want to, solve the issue, apparently. But, I would love to see, like, I saw some things like Helion and other, alternatives. I actually have to have a conversation with the Twitter AI and ask, so what's the deal with that other fusion reactor thing, right? They had these other ones like Helion, where it's like a cylindrical thing, and it works differently. And the theory is that it can emit more energy in a single ignition, but it can only do one ignition per day. So then they need to now scale it up. They need to get the thing to ignite or do the, fusion ignitions multiple times a day so that they can get a steady amount of energy out of it for what they're putting into it. So I believe the one I saw, I don't know which one it was called. It might have been Helion. It might have been something else. But essentially what it does is they have these gigantic capacitor banks. I think they bought old capacitors, used capacitors. They filled up like large warehouse shelves with gigantic capacitors. And so they use the power grid to charge these gigantic capacitors. Then, using all of the energy built up, they can release a large amount of energy or a steady release of high energy into the reactor or whatever, experiment that they're operating to create that ignition. And with that high energies they're putting out, they're able to say, yes, we're getting a brief instance of fusion and energy out of it. What I like about it, what appeals to me is that it's not a monster-sized thing like the tokamak. It's like, even if you get the tokamak to work, it is a very complicated, apparatus. There's some maintenance pitfalls about it. That's the topic that maybe we should go into detail on at some future point in time. Maybe I can, file some materials. Maybe you could share some and, run through it. But it's like, I want fusion to work. Trust me, I do. I understand the fundamentals. But I also understand that the sun can have a sustained fusion reaction because the sun is so damn heavy. While on Earth, it's like the one thing we can't replicate of the sun is the gravity. So we either, we can use magnets to confine it, which helps to prevent it from, like releasing its energy against the walls. Plus, it prevents damage to the wall of the chamber. But we essentially have to run it at much higher temperatures than the sun in order to compensate. And I'm not sure if that's even, I have a lot of questions. Yeah, it's crazy complicated. Pipes and pipe conduit everywhere. And that said, I do think it's cool. I love seeing the toroid, the torus, essentially a donut of plasma glowing purple. That shit is cool. And there has been a lot of knowledge gained. So, for example, when you're running that toroid or that torus-shaped fusion reaction or that plasma donut, one of the issues you'll have is, like, when you see videos or pictures of it, if you ever see the picture, there's one picture where it looks like a lightning bolt is shooting out of the middle or shooting out of the plasma and hitting the wall of that chamber. And there's two problems with this. One, when you see that spectacular, like, orange lightning bolt looking thing inside the reactor, inside the toroid, that means a lot of the energy that you want remaining inside that fusion reaction, or a lot of the energy that you would otherwise potentially use to, like, generate electricity for consumers in the future. If you're creating these plasma arcs or these lightning bolts inside the reactor, essentially that's taking away a lot of energy from the reaction. So it's wasting energy. But number two, the other problem is that it's also doing damage to the inner wall. And that can, of course, adversely affect the integrity of the function of how well it functions. It means that you have downtime spent on repairs. But fundamentally, as I understand it, the basic thing about something like the tokamak is you got two things happening. For the magnets or their magnetic fields to be as strong as they need to be superconducting magnets, which means cooling them to like, supercritical, extremely cold temperatures. And yet, not too far away from these ice cold electromagnets that are cooled with liquid nitrogen, perhaps, you have something that's like hotter than the sun. So it's like a lot of, definitely like you said, there's a lot of plumbing in there, James. That's a good point. You definitely raised a good example there. And I'm definitely curious to see how that goes. But at the same time, like, I wish we'd give more attention. Like, I feel like we could, like, take all the money they waste on climate change and then just build, like, nuclear reactors that are over-engineered. Like, usually, maybe, like, this is probably, like, not necessary. But maybe they should build nuclear reactors with this sarcophagus built around them. Now, that said, if Chernobyl had a containment vessel around their reactor in the first place, they might have been able to mitigate some of the issues they had. Oh, that's a whole other. I'm not even gonna play Monday morning quarterback on that. If you heat goop with 1.21 gigawatts, does it turn into plasma? It might, but certainly you can incinerate flux using that temperature, whether or not it is no clean flux. Oh yeah, these recycled tires. Oh, by the way, I noticed they started making the shorts longer. Look, see, 2 minutes. They're not 1 minute anymore. These are no longer shorts. They're like mediums. Which on one angle is exciting for me because I can now upload longer shorts. But I'm kind of on the fence about this. Is this one of those work smart, not hard videos? Yeah. Oh, do we need wars over oil? I hear people saying that the oil that we produce here isn't really that viable, but what I understand, it totally is. It's just the regulations, it's just easier to import it. Plus, I could imagine that maybe it does cost a little bit more to pull it out of the ground here, but there are ways to deal with that. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so real quick, we're going to finish the Japanese cartoon real quick, and I'm going to show you guys one more thing, alright? So, let's just finish this short clip. Oh, I gotta make sure I'm not getting copyright. They play music. His targeting is out of alignment. He's saying his targeting is out of alignment. He's gonna return to the ship. I'm pausing it to avoid any copyrights. Oh, that was weird. I think we have a buggy rip here. See, that's the ship right over there. I believe that's the flagship Hyperion. He's about to punch the cruise chief. The battle is not looking good, they say. Alright, so I'm looking for something very specific. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. That's cool. Look at that spherical display. How cool is that? Yang Wen Li. Oh, good. I think I found it. Hope I found it. Well, I didn't find what I was looking for, but I found something even cooler. I hope it's the one I'm looking for. Okay, this is not the one. But there was an episode I recently saw where they showed, like, I got a couple of video angles that, oh yeah, I remember, I wrote it down. 50, what? 50 something, 50-55 apparently. Oh, no, this is not the scene. This is the scene after the scene that I found. Huh? Oh, is that it? I gotta find this. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay, I apologize. So, number one, the main thing is that there's a scene where this fighter pilot is sitting in the cockpit of his plane. And in that original scene, there's a backdrop of the canopy of the fighter plane behind him. It's got like grid lines. It's like a grid to show that he's flying forward in space. So it's like sort of behind his head, you can see like the stars or particles and stuff and debris and these grid lines kind of skimming over his head. So kind of like in that direction. So what I want to do is I need to find that scene and I want to add that animated background to the backdrop of this guy here, but set it up to play in a nice tidy loop so that, you know, it looks like it's continuously playing. So I was hoping to find that clip so I could show you guys where the source clip for this came from, but I'll have to figure that out on my own time. But what's cool is I just want to show you one last thing. So this is a carrier ship from, oh crap. This is a carrier ship from Legend of the Galactic Heroes. And if you notice, there's these little rectangles on the bottom. Now, when you saw the fighter plane launching earlier, that guy was clearly in an internal hangar. But this one here, like, is like Starship porn to me. And you can see that you got the, it's like, and this, they did this in a couple of Gundam cartoons as well, or a couple, like short story clips, like from the video games, I believe. It was one of the Mobile Suit Gundam games for PlayStation 2, where where they see a mech pilot essentially getting resupplied on the outside of a ship, and like the ship basically grapples onto the mech. The guys in spacesuits come out with some hoses, they refuel, and then they evacuate. Or they get out of the way and they let the guy fight in combat or something like that. In this case, I think the guy was in the middle of resupply when he left. But this is cool because, like, you can see these guys, like, I guess they get into their fighter planes wearing the space suits, and there's some maintenance guys here who assist them. But this ship apparently carries a large amount of fighters, but it stores them in these like racks that are hanging on the bottom of the hull, a bit like a Star Destroyer from Star Wars. And that is my point here. But what I love is just like this angle. Because like, I didn't even know they showed this viewing angle, and so I found that extremely exciting to watch. But with that being said, I'm not going to take up your time with these other details. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Oh yeah, the last thing I wanted to share with you guys was since we're going to be talking about World War II next week, I figured I'm going to share a playlist if I could just find. This is the Ovilles, right? And I showed you guys the Ovilles a while ago, but I didn't have a playlist at the time for them. But I decided to make a playlist for them because I put the quality on low. Because they're sort of like mixing like marching band with like jazz and dance. And in particular, this instrument right here. Now you can't really see it clearly, but it looks like a fucking clarinet. but it's got a brass horn sticking out the front, and then the rest of the instrument looks like something from Star Trek. And I had to like ask Google Gemini, like, what is that? And Google Gemini was like, I don't know what you're talking about, and you know, all this shit. And then finally, like, I figured out while watching the in-between videos that it's called a Yamaha digital saxophone. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. He's like, it was killing me. I was like, well, what the fuck is that called? But in the process of me investigating that, I created an O Village playlist. And I don't know if that interests anybody, but yeah, it is the O Village playlist. Track 1 on that is fucking really bumping. Yeah, it's a digital saxophone. Yeah, so basically that's the thing. It's a YDS model 150, I believe. Yamaha digital saxophone model 150. Or is it a 130? It might be a Yamaha digital saxophone 130. Well, anyway, essentially on the front where the reed or where the mouthpiece is, it has a breath sensor. And it just measures the flow of air going into it. It doesn't even necessarily require you to play it like a reed instrument. So when you typically have a reed instrument, there is like a certain way that you control your throat, the way that you blow air into it, the way you do certain things. They call it the embouchure. Your embouchure is like critical to how you play oboe, for example. And in the case of the Yamaha digital sax, I don't think the embouchure itself is as important, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But what's cool about the digital sax is that you can switch it between different operating modes. You can like, well, it's funny because like I thought it was a noodle horn, but then that was called a, how was it called? A sousaphone, I think. A sousaphone, yep. But it was just so interesting, you know, like, because like the way this girl plays it, the girl who plays the sax, I think her name is Fury-chan. Like she's fast with the finger work, and I think that's why she has the digital sax, because like it gives you flexibility, right? Like a saxophone is good and it has a natural sound, but with this one here, you can switch to operating mode and have it do different sounds, I guess. But mainly, I guess the fingering can be very rapid on something like that if you're really good at what you're doing. So I found that to be fascinating. But the other thing I learned, what else did I learn that was interesting? I think that's basically it. I feel like there's something I'm leaving out. Oh, yeah. If you have to practice playing saxophone, it can be very challenging because if you're trying to keep the sound level down because you live in an apartment or you share or you have a, you know, whatever the case is, you have neighbors who, you know, don't like you playing saxophone. With the Yamaha digital saxophone, you can set the volume to a 1 or you can set it to some low setting and play it without lowering the amount of airflow you put into it. You can play it while wearing headphones. So I found that to be kind of cool and interesting. But this band mostly plays real wind instruments, but that particular player is playing a digital saxophone, so I just thought it was kind of cool. And I think they go for about $800 to $1,000 on Amazon. I think it was like Michigan or something that rules that boneless wings don't have to be boneless and should not be expected to be boneless. Look it up on Steve Lato. He has 2 videos about it. Wow. Almond boneless chicken won. Well, if you could just put that exact bug every 5 to 6 seconds into your thing, you shouldn't get a copyright. Yeah, right? I know what you're saying. You talking about that weird scrambled video effect or whatever, or I can just pause. Yeah, it's crossed my mind. So never count on any one method. But that said, I'm willing to try and experiment anything on my own channel. I wouldn't necessarily tell people to do what I'm willing to do to like circumvent things. And I also understand that it doesn't necessarily make me impervious. But you know, there are things I've done in that vein to kind of thwart the detection mechanisms. And I'd say that it's easier for me to visually confuse the detection than it is for me to confuse the, you know, what do you call it? The sound. I mean, there are ways. I'm just not as well equipped to do that. Excuse me. And speaking of music, David Glenn knows about Audacity, but there's something I was going to show that would have interested David Glenn, but I can't remember what it is now, so I guess I'll save it for like another stream, or I'll send him a link. But I feel like you guys would enjoy it too. Logan Dania's video is unavailable. Anyway, I'm looking for something else here. I'm looking for my boy Aris218. We're going to find Aris right now. See, look. See, I'm getting the Oneda girl right here. I'm getting the Japanese cheerleaders in the basketball court. I'm getting these girls in hiked up skirts right over here. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is like the shit that my algorithm is shoving in my face now. Watch one video of a girl in a hiked up skirt, and that's all you're gonna get. But jokes aside, I'm looking for something very specific. Give me a second here. We're gonna find it. Chaos for You 728 is also on. Okay. Let's see. So we're gonna share a couple of links here. Oh, good timing, huh? Right, where's Arvis? Arvis. Okay, we got Arvis, and I'm looking for Chaos. So if you guys like Chaos, I'm gonna rate both of them at my leisure. I misspelled Chaos's name. But secondly, but not least, we have seriously, right? Literally, ain't that the truth? There are many strange legal rulings. That's one of them. Excuse me. But yeah, seriously, that's like what happened. That's what happened to me. Oh, noses, the horror. My mom watched a woman swimming once, then every short was a bikini girl. Yeah, exactly. It's like that. It's freaking like that. Hey, what's up, War Chief? Orc War Chief Reviews. You caught me at the time in the stream. Excuse me. You caught me in the part of the stream where I randomly start yawning until I can get up and get some air. It's not even like I woke up late today. Like, I'm not sleepy. I just need to get air. Kind of, as long as you just get in a stuffy position, we got some cold Arctic blast coming from outside. But what we did was we watched some Japanese TV, and I'll give you a quick recap because, and we watched some Legend of the Galactic Heroes clips, or at least part of the clips that I intend on watching. But real quick, Okay, so I figured it out.
Makes you curious.
That is a children's show. So when I'm never watching this again, I don't think. I think I could delete every episode.
Silly crab.
I think I could delete every episode of this. So this is a dopey show.
So much, eat this.
Oh no, I think it's recording duplicates of the same episode. That's even worse. Yeah. Okay, so this is another issue. Even if you tell the DVR not to record reruns, it sometimes records reruns. So I literally have the same episode multiple times. And that's equating to an extra 2 gigs of wasted space. And then the entire folder full of that dopey ass kids show. Okay, it's only 16 gigs, but still, I need to delete that. So I'm going to open that up in a new folder. And we're going to keep that handy. Now, NASCAR, I'm pretty sure this will get me copyright claimed in 5 seconds.
That's an advantage for them later in the race if they have to move around.
But there's some NASCAR here. Let's see. What is it doing?
Sam's going to help him down the back straightaway, Mark.
This one was recorded in low def. So I have a bunch of recordings I accidentally recorded on the low def channel, which is a real shame, but I should probably either compress them heavily or delete them altogether. Easy Japanese? Oh good, I can learn how to speak Japanese.
Communicate in any language.
Wow, that's incredible. In this episode, Tam said, "Tamu desu."
Oh my god, I wish we started with this. Okay, we'll have to save this for another time, but this could be a good time right here. I think we could definitely put that on our list of things to watch together. Ancient Assassins. Season 2. How many seasons of Ancient Assassins are there?
But they have one thing in.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Not bad for a bunch of
I'm done with this. I'm not watching conventional television. So yeah. Hey, Orc. People endlessly repeating. Excuse me. I hear you. People endlessly repeating the exact same video game is why I try to break up what games I play. Well, I gotta say, like, the games you play, like, sometimes you'll be like, oh man, I'm sorry that I only have a PS4. And they're like, dude, you play the wildest games, like, in a good way. Like Slim Nim, for anybody who hasn't tuned in, you'll tune into a show sometimes, and you'll see some game that, like, you never heard of, you didn't know it was a real franchise, but it's like sometimes the game looks like it was made by someone on an acid trip, and other times it looks like somebody on magic and mushrooms made the game, right? And that's sort of like what you get on Slim's channel sometimes. So that's a lot of fun. He also played Yakuza. That was a good time. That game was kind of funny. It was like they had that sentimental part of the game that like ties up the backstory, and out of nowhere, that Nakamura guy becomes like this cold prick. But anyway, Fortnite and Dead by Daylight, I could say as two that people do that with. Yeah, I get, especially I've seen a lot of Dead by Daylight. In Fortnite, yeah, it gets like tiring at times. I've been watching a couple of big cat YouTubers with big cats. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's like it's kind of fascinating to see like a Maine Coon. Like they're just humongous. You need oxygen. Must be the EVs that are pulling the oxygen out of the air. Because cars aren't making carbon dioxide for plants. I mean, that's not a real concern, right? Like, if we stop running industry today, trees aren't going to be, like, suffocating, you know? And also, when the Amazon rainforest was on fire, people were saying that the Amazon rainforest are the lungs of the earth, when in reality, I would say that oceans are, like, a much, much bigger factor in that, particularly the algae at the surface of the ocean. Yeah, what did I do recently? I started having a conversation with one of the, I think Google Gemini, to try to break down the Japanese language, and I think I did another conversation with Twitter Grok just to see if like it, did better, but I got confused right out of the starting gate with how they had like they had hiragana, katakana, and I forgot the other one was kanji. Yeah, kanji, and then of course you have romanji, which is like the words, and then so. Like, it was telling me, like, oh, yeah, try to figure out these words. It gave me some examples. But then some of the characters on the chart were not in the word I'm looking at. So I'm like, well, what are these other words? Parts of speech? Are these, just like in-betweens? Are these consonants? So yeah, I got a little ahead of me. Oh, I can get you some oldies anime or a really old TV show you've probably never seen. I'm fucking yawning. Ever seen from Canada. Interesting. I remember there was a video I saw where some guy was like talking about preservation of old anime like on 16mm film and how some of the film was literally rotting. Like there was one anime where the guy opens up the bag and it says, "Do not open the bag," because the film was rotting in a really smelly way. And in some cases the film is already disintegrated. In other cases, they're able to salvage part of the film and scan that in. In other cases, they can scan the whole film, but it's like really bad quality. And in an ideal scenario, if you get a good scan of a film that's still in good condition, you can, upscale it properly because, of course, film is already a really high resolution to begin with. But if you're pulling it off a VHS tape, like sometimes I have to do, then the best I can do is deinterlace and upscale it, which I can do okay with it. But if I say I'm doing good by standards of VHS, but not doing good by standards of Blu-ray. Like you're not going to take someone's VHS tape of a wedding and upscale it to 4K. That's kind of dumb and a waste of time. But I mean, some people insist on doing that. No, I mean, I could be wrong, but it's just that you can't magically create detail where there is no detail. That's another topic. Save that for like another time too. No, Luna the Pantera and Safari Sammy like the 100-pound cat. Oh, okay, I didn't know about those. Spoken JP isn't that hard. That's kind of, I get that impression too, that if I maybe just get like basic conversational Japanese words written in Romanji, written in a form that I can read for practice, and I listen and I try to figure out what others are saying and I try to respond to that or form responses, I feel like, yeah, that sounds practical. And I know a lot of Asian people who can speak their mother tongue, who can speak the language that their grandparents speak, but they cannot read or write in the language. And when the first time I knew someone who said that to me, I couldn't comprehend it. I'm like, what do you mean you can speak Chinese, but you can't write it? Like, to me, that's so alien. It's like, I can speak English, I can write English. I don't see why I could write Spanish. What little Spanish I know, I could write that down. So I couldn't imagine why someone would be unable to read or write a language that they can already speak. But apparently that's how that works with pictograms or whatever. You have the symbol language, then English letters for the language, then the written and spoken are different, and then there are hundreds of dialects. That's not confusing at all, right? It's the written part that gets confusing with all of the kanji. And like, for example, the writing order, right? Like you gotta write the strokes in a certain order, which I feel like, can anybody tell if you write something down in kanji and you put the strokes in the wrong order? Can anybody tell? Hiragana and katakana are the same syllables written differently, each with their own purposes. Katakana mostly used for foreign loan words. Yeah. Like foreign word. I noticed that. I think that's literally what the I was learning yesterday or 2 days ago. That essentially like words like computer, and that was the thing. It was trying to like show me symbols that make up the vowels, and I'm looking at the word and I'm saying, but wait, this vowel is missing. And basically like any English word that you would say, like you said, in Japanese, that sounds similar to the English word, is effectively being done that way, from what I can understand. The other problem is that anytime you want to learn kanji, everyone insists you need to have writing practice too. Yeah, I get that impression. Right? That's what I'm saying. It's like, can they tell, right? Yep, that was it. I was reading that. It was spelled with a K, but that's essentially what I was. Oh, wait a second. That's helpful. You just no that actually helps. Hold on. Where did I go for this? Gemini.google. Gemini. Let me see if I can find it in my history real quick. Brass horn. Gemini verse. Wait a second. Wait, where did I put this? Am I signed into the correct Google account? Wait a second. Was this Twitter or okay? I don't remember which AI I was chatting with when I was trying to learn Jap. Oh, found it. I did it under DJ Ronnie G. Okay. Arigato. And I think I remember now, but you remember you say arigato on your show, but you say it differently? Is that the word? Arigato. Arigato. Like I just remember it was being said differently than what I was accustomed to spelling, like in the movie, in the song. The song. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Let's see here. So, yeah, I'm asking these questions, and let me see if I can find a segment that I wanted to, the section of the language. Is it here? Okay, maybe it was a different conversation. See, I remember one of these AI conversations I had, it totally did break down the vowels. And I wish I could find it right now. But we do have some AI conversations about video encoding, about writing scripts. And in fact, I can't develop, I don't like coding, but apparently AI can do the coding for me now. So that's kind of nice. We got a picture of a nuclear fireball. That's kind of cool. That's cool. That's like, yeah. Looks like a Jello mold or something. Okay. Anyway, back on topic here. Is this it? Did I find it? Wait, no, this is not it. Is it? Wait. Maybe it was the Twitter Grok. I'm gonna check Twitter Grok real quick. Okay, yeah, I can't find it. That's too bad. But the reason I'm bringing this up, L, is because when you spelled out computer like that, I think that's where I was making a mistake. I was like, I should have been trying to like convert these to the things I was seeing on the chart. At least that's kind of what I'm gathering. I'll have to just start a new AI conversation on the language if I don't find the conversation I was having, or if I don't figure out if I sign into a different account, or if I maybe, sometimes you have a conversation, you do 2 topics in the same AI conversation, even though you should split them up sometimes. But that's what happened to me. But let's see here. Depends if you're using 1 dip of ink to draw kanji or 2. Yes, some people really can tell on very nice paper. Yeah, I mean, they can. Why would the stroke order matter? Yeah, I mean, I guess, well, the Japanese are very artsy people, right? Attention oriented. And maybe back in the old days when people had nothing better to do, or maybe the rich people had nothing better to do, I guess they decided to make these rules. I'm guessing here. I don't really have a valid answer to that. Hiragana and katakana are just 46 symbols each, so you can learn those in 30 minutes. Oh yeah, if you have your memory. Arigachu. Arigachu. I gotta have to listen to you say it next time. It's thank you and the sound of a kiss in one. Arigachu. A kiss or a sneeze? Arigato shu. Arigato shu. All right. I'll have to play around with that. Well, it's a made-up word. It's not real. I thought it was totally a real word because the AI says it's real, L. The AI says it's real. We just went to the AI. It said it's a real word. Unless they're just pointing out that different people pronounce it differently. You can use Rikashan, Rikakun plugin on Chromium browsers to effectively read kanji on text. Read kanji on text? That could be fun. Because I usually use Google Translate, but I'm willing to try anything. So I will make note of this plugin. I think Russian stole some vowels from Polish. I have no doubt about it. Or vice versa. They definitely have similarity of the 2 languages. Oh, pirate. Arigato. They're both real words, but putting them together like I do isn't. I got you. Well, that's enlightening. I appreciate that. Once again, it's a shame I could not find my recent AI conversation. I did. I was like, oh, hey, teach me Japanese, Mr. AI. Or, maybe Mrs. AI. But yeah. Wait, is this it? No, that's not it. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. What if I switch to my regular account again? Maybe I just go and I search through all of these. Let's see. I had a conversation about Kim Jong. Text box saving. What does that have to do with anything? Brass horn woodwind instrument. Well, we know what that's about. I feel like there's something missing. There's stuff missing from this. Almost like my history is limited here. This is weird. And they're trying to sell me. Maybe it doesn't store recent conversations because I'm not paying for Gemini Advanced. Or is this it? Wait a second. Here we are. Nope, that's not it. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm looking at this here. The Google Gemini app activity also includes, when you do a Google search and it gives you like a little AI answer at the top of the Google search. Apparently Google Gemini stores that in this history page alongside whatever you're doing in Gemini. So that's not confusing at all. It actually kind of is. But yeah, give feedback. Prompted, can we just call? Okay, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to find it, but I really wish I could find it. That's a shame. It's too bad I can't find it. I really wish I could. I'm going to try switching to one more account. Wait, where the heck is my ZJ Ronnie G account? Okay, whatever. Enough of that. Okay, enough sidetracking. I appreciate your patience there. Hello, Lady Mist. Thanks for dropping by. That's a good idea. I like the tenor of what you're saying here. Good night, fabulous show. Let's end it on a high note. Thank you. And since we don't have any music, this is the high note. Lady Mist is our high note. But no, real quick, before I do wrap it up for sure, I do want to thank LCX, Awesome One, the Peter Venkman fan site. Did I mention Lady Mist? Lady Mist. James, David Glenn, Punk Waddle. You should check out Punk Waddle, guys. He always has new videos. Here you go. That's Punk Waddle. Hopefully it pops up a link automatically when I type his name. Slim Nim, Lorenzo Sleestack was here. And we had Snowdub. Snowdub's a good time. I always love watching his stuff, yo. He does fun work and is inspiration. Here we are. See, he went to bed. I'm sorry I didn't say goodnight to David Glenn, but if I have his YouTube channel link, I'd put it up. I don't know if I do. I'm going to open it up in my own browser so I can make sure that I can add him to the Stream Element spot today. Ooh, we had Pop Culture Mechanic. He's a good time. We had LCX. I mean, I said that already, but I just want to see if the link comes up. We had this beautiful avatar here. Forget about the person. I just love looking at that. Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm being lewd. I'm sorry. Wait. There's a green pole here. Oh, that's funny. Look at that. How nasty is that? See, the green pole is going, like, up. I'm sorry, guys. My mind's in the gutter. We had Master 8 Gundam here. Cool dude, too. Yeah, I met him on L Chat. Cool. Good times. We had Real Wade Nation here. He keeps asking about that Game Boy. I did promise him a Game Boy. And I told Wade to bug me on stream if I don't answer a message or something like that. So that's kind of my bad, you know. But that being said, I have the battery charger. I have the Game Boy. Plug it in. I test it out. I can mail him his Game Boy, and then we never hear about it in the chat again. But jokes aside, I'm happy to give him the Game Boy. Let's see here. And yeah, that's everyone. That's basically everyone. Look, that's like the first message in the entire stream. I thought the YouTube chat usually, you know, the messages from the beginning tend to disappear. So with that being said, all I want to leave you guys with, as I now conclude for real, is a link to my boy Aris. I will be here. I might go and get a snack from the refrigerator, but I will have my phone in hand, and I will be saying hello in the chat. Yeah, right. Yeah. He was here. The lizard was here. Do I have him in that? I don't know if I have him in the links list, but you know his channel. And real quick, guys, what should I vote for? Serious question. Should I vote for? Help me out, L. Let's do some voter interference here. If we could like pool our votes together on this poll. So after Aris plays Smash Brothers. After Aris plays Smash Brothers, should he play Muse Dash, Super Beat Sonic, or Tahu Spell Bubble? I think Tahu Spell Bubble looks too much like... it sounds like a Tetris. Oh my god, is that Battleship Yamato? That looks kind of cool. Look at that. It's a battleship in Smash Brothers. Anyway, so what are we going to do? Muse Dash or the other game, huh? Or do I just have to pick one? I'll make a decision on my own. I was hoping we could, like, you know, maybe Muse Dash? Okay, Muse Dash. You're right. It is a pumping game, and I think it's fun. We're going to, yeah. It looks like someone else already voted for it. It says 2 votes, 100% Muse Dash. So I think we made the right decision here. So there we go, guys. So the link for Arvis's channel is right over there if you want to jump in on that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We went a bit freeform tonight, Lady Mist, but I hope you enjoyed the part where we watched that Japanese mountaineer. And I'm sure you didn't enjoy the one with the children's show, but I'm sure you found that to be amusing. And I think I'm going to delete all 20 gigs of that. And yeah, the pirate stream with extra booty. Arg. But with that being said, tune into Aris if you want to see him play Muse Dash after he finishes playing Super Smash Brothers. And with that being said, I am going to officially hereby conclude this stream. So with that being said, for anybody watching on the replay, oh, and by the way, next week I'm going to have a special guest on, so you know, stay tuned for that. But yeah, for anybody watching on the replay, please, you know, consider liking and subscribing if you're not already subscribed. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, please leave a comment